right-hand side, you can start to look back and see some of those mounds of yellow and black rock over there. That's what's left of the Yellowbird mine. And similarly, here on your left-hand side, you'll see some of these mounds of yellow and red rock accompanied with a large hole. That's what's left of the Redbird mine. Now, just about halfway up the hill there on that left-hand side, you'll see that old wooden structure. That's the original blacksmith shop from the town of Anaconda. Anaconda was taken out by a huge fire in 1904, so they moved over here for preservation. Just behind it, the building that's fallen in is the old Conundrum mine, and just to the right of that, those two cylinder tanks are what's left of the Moonacre 1 and 2 mines. And again, here on your left-hand side, you're going to see this old wooden chute sticking out of the side of the hill there, and that's what's left of the E-Quarter King mine. Now, all 5 of these mines I just introduced you to here were opened in around 1890 and produced between $10 and $15 million worth of gold ore altogether. Down the hill here on your right-hand side through the trees, you're going to start to see some of these mounds of yellow and black rock, again with a couple metal and wooden chutes sticking out of it. That's what's left of the Good Chance mine. The Good Chance mine opened in 1980 when gold finally reached around $1,000 an ounce. And the owner, he knew he was going to strike it rich there, hence the name. However, when he didn't pull a whole lot of gold out of there, the locals started nicknaming that the Fat Chance mine.
Fat Chance mine. take you over now is known as the $1 Million Bill. Now, this used to be a 400-foot wooden trestle that ran all through this area here. However, due to all the weather and elements we have here in Colorado, they ended up tearing that out and filling it in with this low-grade gold ore. Now, in today's values, there's an estimated worth
get too excited and start leaping off the train trying to fill up your fanny packs with rocks, this is going to take you about 20 tons of this rock here just to make up a single ounce of gold. Do any of you guys happen to have a large fanny pack on you? On your right-hand side, you're going to start to see some of these real deep holes. Now, whenever you see one of those, that's part of a tunneling system called the Moffett Tunnel System, designed to tie into over 30 gold mines, including some of these here on your left-hand side. Now, that was designed by the same David Moffett that created the Moffett Tunnel System up in northern Colorado, and he also owned the Anaconda mine here in the district. Now, he designed these to tie into the gold mines for water mitigation and also air ventilation, so it would be a little safer for the miners and workers, so they weren't working down there getting carbon monoxide poisoning or flooded out by all the rainwater. Now, just a few years after its construction, though, this 1.5 mile tunneling system here started getting used by lazier and lazier miners every year as entrances into their gold mines every day. Much to David Moffett's mining dismay.
Yeah, look at that. Are you able to see that? Look at that.
Well, looks like we just about ran out of coal, so I hope you guys are ready to help me push this engine back. It's real easy once you put your back into it. It's all downhill from here, right? No, I believe in you guys. I think you can. 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 Welcome on to our first stop here on the trip. This is known as Squaw Gulch. However, we like to call it Echo Valley. So here in just a moment, I'll show you why we call it that.
Oh.
Do it again.
I'll give you another one that'll work a little better once these cars here pass.
Continental Divide.
For those of you that are curious, this is all a Cripple Creek Railroad right here.
You can really hear it.
Oh, it echoes.
That's cool.
Now, I've lived out here in this mountainous part of Colorado for most of my life, and I've been listening to those steam whistles for years and years, and they'll tell you that never gets old.
course, until you make someone cry. Now, they say you can actually hear those steam whistles about 10 miles up and down this gulch here on any clear day when there's not a whole bunch of cars passing. So that's why we waited there a moment, and there's a whole bunch of wind either. And so they used to use a similar steam whistle here in the area to signify things like brakes and shift changes, but also emergencies, such as fires. Now, if you look out there way in the distance at that last set of mountains out there, that's known as the Sangre de Cristo mountain range, which is part of the Continental Divide. It was named by early Spanish explorers when they got out here to this area a long time ago, and they saw those mountains right at sunset, and it had this beautiful red hue gleaming from just above the mountain range. And so translated to English, the Sangre de Cristo mountain range means the blood of Christ. Beautiful name. Straight down here in this clearing, past the highway, there used to be an old canvas town down there by the name of Barry. Obviously, there's not much left of it anymore, but it used to be really the cultural center of the area. Back then, it had a lot of actors, entertainers, musicians, artists, even movie stars at one time. So a miner would get off their shift, they'd come over here to the town of Barry, they'd have a good cup of apple juice, and then they'd watch a good old ragtime show. Just around the bend was the town of Mound City, which had around 500 residents year-round, and just in between those two towns, there was two gold processing mills. There was the Rosebud, and there was the Brody. The Brody actually ended up catching fire in 1904, which caused a raging forest fire that went for miles and miles up and down this gulch here, destroying everything in its path. It destroyed both of those towns, both of those processing mills, and even raged so loud and so far as to go up into the town of Anaconda, which is that ghost town I was telling you guys about just a few minutes ago. You guys got to see the two structures that did survive that fire, and that would have been that blacksmith shop off the side of the hill as we were coming up on the left-hand side. That was from Anaconda, and also from Anaconda, you've likely been inside it, that'd be our old train station. Now, straight out across from us here on your right-hand side, you'll see that big mound of yellow and black rock with a hoist house off to the side of it, and that's what's left of the El Paso mine. Now, they say the El Paso mine is about as deep as the Empire State Building is tall, at about 1,500 feet deep. That's not even half the depth of the deepest one here in the area, though. That'd be the Ajax mine off of Battle Mountain, which is over 3,350 feet deep. Now, they say when you're at the bottom of that one, your elevation is actually underneath Colorado Springs as a result. But this El Paso mine here has around 30 miles of tunnel underneath it, and around $30 million worth of gold was pulled out of there during their days of operation between 1890 and World War II. If you look straight left from the El Paso mine, you can see that.
Oh, we're going backwards.
You doing okay without
Yeah,
me?
I'm good. You're okay. You can see the mine now. Look at that. It's huge. Hey, everybody get up.
Alright folks, welcome on to our second stop here on the trip. This is known as the World's Fair. Now if you look off the right-hand side of the engine here, you'll see that big old man-made mountain out there with the different levels on it. That is home to the current Cripple Creek and Victor Gold Mine, which is currently owned by the Newmont Mining Company, which is one of the largest mining companies in, well, the world. There they have around 800 year-round employees, making them the largest employer here in Teller County. And another one of their largest, they have the largest open-pit gold mine in all of North America. Now, you can actually see that open-pit gold mine for yourself off the east side of Cripple Creek. I can give you better directions on how to get to that once we get back to the station if you'd like. But you can actually walk up some steps, look down into the gold mine, and see what they're doing.